My cup overflows. Yes. In more ways than one. So the story goes like this. You're holding a cup and someone walks up to you and runs into you and bumps you. And your cup spills the coffee that was holding. And we may think that we spilled our coffee or tea because someone bumped us. But in reality, we spilled coffee because coffee was in our cup. If we had tea or bourbon in our cup, we would have spilled tea or bourbon. So whatever's in our cup is what's overflowing for the world. So when we come upon times in life where we're troubled or we're overjoyed, that's what's flowing out of our cup. When somebody bumps us, oh my, what falls out of our cup? Depends, doesn't it? Depends on the week, it depends on the day, it depends on the moment. November is a time when we focus our attention on gratitude. We spend a whole day feasting on gratitude and football. And perhaps we could consciously fill our cup all the time with gratitude. Because we can't be angry if we're feeling gratitude. We can't be cranky or resentful if we're feeling gratitude. Gratitude opens a space for us to recognize and live from all the goodness that we say we believe is in the world. So last Sunday, I invited you to choose one of the fruits of spirit that we talked about and to hold it in your mind and just to notice how that fruit of spirit showed up for you and how you expressed that fruit of spirit throughout the week. And just as a reminder, the fruits of spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Cynthia, what's in your cup?
All right, so this is my little cup that my grandparents were Polish immigrants who went from Chicago to Arkansas and built a little two-bedroom house, like a little log cabin, and always cooked on a wood stove. And even when people tried to buy her an electric stove, it ended up out in the woods. So this little cup, when it was her funeral, I was sitting there and somebody said, well, do you want to take something? And I saw this little cup that was very familiar, seeing it every time. And so anyway, what's in my cup this week, I said mindfulness because something difficult kind of happened this week. And I reached out to friends and got to process it. But also, it was that ability to sit with it and just let it be. And that was a spiritual gift.
Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Mindfulness is one of our more powerful spiritual practices, not to send experiences away, but to be present to them and walk through them. Thank you for sharing that. Now, this might seem a little off topic, or it might seem perfectly aligned. Whatever works. I feel very compelled to share this with you today from a book called Fragments of Your Ancient Name, which is a book that I share often and read daily. Brightness of Souls is the name used. Each soul is suffused with the flowing grace of luminosity, a beam of brilliance so intense that everything veiled would be aglow if the body were shed. A radiance stronger than sun, softer than moon, steady as silence, spreads outward from every soul that exists. Together they spin into your great light until you penetrate each particle of darkness. Oh, that we could see all of creation as a swath of brilliant, soul-shining, illuminating love. That's what we are. We are shining, illuminating love. That brilliant light is in all of us. For some people, it might be just a golden amber. For some of us, it might be a big, bold bonfire. But that spark of luminosity is us. It's our unity principle that we have the spark of the divine. We say it every single Sunday. And yet we come in times where we forget. We forget that we are that light. That our cup is not holding our light. But the good news is when we recognize that that which is not light has filled our cup and is flowing into the world, we can empty our cup. You might want to wash it out for good measure. But we can fill it again consciously. We can discard that which is not love and fill our cup with love. Penny, what does your cup hold today?
I brought two. I hope that's okay. This one has my brother's name on it, and I got to spend Friday with him and his husband Henry all day, and I felt love. This represents joy. I meet every Saturday with a group of women who mean very much to me, and they bring me great joy, and those are my cups. So, love and joy.
And both of those came into your life this week.
Yes.
In your brother and in your friends. Thank you for sharing that. Wonderful, beautiful. So what does it mean to let God fill our cup? It means for us to be mindful of our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical reserve. It means that filling our cup is stopping where we are. And if we don't consent and stop ourselves, the world will stop us. Yeah. We experience that when the world stops us in our tracks. To stop and take stock. Where are we? Where's my reserve of this spiritual nourishment? Where's my reserve of emotional nourishment? Where's my cup? Is it empty or half full? Filling our cup means that we recharge our reserve, recharge our batteries. It means that we give ourselves permission to come apart from the world, to turn off the radio. Do people still have radios? To turn off the radio, to turn off the television, to put away the newspapers, to shut out the noise and confusion of the world, and to be still and silent, and to allow that presence that we meditate on, allow ourselves to be in connection, to be in communion, and to be in holy union with that one that is the one. And Jesus set an example for this. After Jesus fed the multitude, he went to a mountain to pray. Went alone to the mountain. After hearing of the beheading of his beloved cousin John the Baptist, he went apart to pray alone. After a night of sleep early in the morning, Jesus would go into a quiet place by himself to pray. After the Last Supper, Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray alone. Luke 5:16 points out that Jesus often went to a quiet place to pray and be in that spiritual communion with the divine. Keller, what's in your cup today?
Thank you. I thought I was going to be the lecturer for today. I wasn't aware that this was just a minute thing, so I brought notes, a book, textbooks. So anyway, so I apologize. But this is love because it's beautiful. And this is from my marriage. And so for me, if something does not have beauty either, anyway, I won't go there. I'll stick to my short notes. For me, love is an abstract concept. It's just a word. I was not raised in a particularly loving home. In fact, it was rather fearful. I came to draw my concept of love from literature, music, kitties and horses, and the outdoors, and then especially alcohol. So that was for 32 years that alcohol was my best friend, off and on, but it's a progressive disease, so of course the latter years it was a full-time lover. So for me, love equals beauty, and it is essentially the heading for joy, peace, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. And for me, I can't really practice those principles unless I deal with the concept of a divine love. So this has been very difficult for me in AA, is to develop a concept of being loved by a higher power. It's very difficult. So I have found a solution this year with a Zoom meeting online where we have quite a few promises in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Let me see. As an adult member, I've learned that love is a choice through which those qualities manifest with these notable additions. The big book is just filled with how to practice serenity, sobriety, and it is a purely spiritual program. It has very pragmatic value, but if you can't get your spiritual issue settled, you're going to be in trouble. So it's very, very, very important to those of us in recovery. Number one, we will be divorced of self-pity if we work for these concepts diligently. So we have to practice this. And I have a Zoom meeting that I meet with Monday through Friday and Saturday nights, through whom I have seen love develop as I have worked these principles. So we have grown closer and closer. And we now, I couldn't leave that meeting if I had to because we're so very close. And it's in Michigan for some strange reason. The second one is we have ceased fighting anything or anyone. So that was really big for me because the other cup I was going to bring was entitled Mrs. Right, Mrs. Always Right. So I'm glad I chose the one that really is more me. So that's been my choice for this year, is to cease fighting anything or anyone. And essentially in AA and in my relationship with God and through this church, love and tolerance of others is our code.
Thank you, Keller. A cup filled with love and beauty indeed. So filling our cup means that we become mindful of what's moving inside of us so that we're not exploding into the world randomly. It means becoming mindful and acknowledging what feelings, what thoughts are rolling around. Not to push them away, not to ignore them, but to honor them. So we acknowledge it, we explore it, we heal it, and we integrate it as part of the wholeness of us. So when I speak of wholeness, I mean the beautiful part of ourselves that we show to the world is loving, kind, compassionate, all these beautiful fruits of spirit, patient, all of that good stuff. And everything at the other end of that. That which is hateful. That which is unkind. That is what is not generous. And when I acknowledge that I am capable of the whole spectrum of those, in this one body I'm capable of immense love and hatred. I might not speak words of hatred, but I might have thoughts. I might have feelings. And acknowledging that and healing the wounds that are beneath those feelings, we get to integrate that into the wholeness of ourself. And when we are living from that expression of our wholeness, it's beautiful. And that's what flows to the rest of the world and allows others to acknowledge what's in them and to heal and integrate those parts of them too. And here's one cup, and it's empty. There's nothing to give to the world from an empty cup. So how do you fill your cup? What are practices that you have that fill your cup? I'll get you started. This morning I was a little late coming to meditation here because I got lost on my cushion in my meditation room at home. I usually set an alarm for it, and today I didn't. So meditation is a powerful way for me to refill my cup. Kayaking, walking in nature with my new dog. How do you fill your cup? Shout it out.
Meditation.
Meditation, yes.
Bicycle riding at the canal.
Oh, bicycle riding, yes. How else?
Spending time with those you care about.
Oh, spending time, yes, with the people that we care about, and that those feelings are reciprocal, and that's that law of circulation. It's giving and taking and giving and taking and receiving. So we have to be willing recipients of our good to embody it. Gayla, go ahead.
I'll play the piano or do some kind of art.
Creative. Playing the piano, art, all of that is really, listening to music can feel, it's a vibration that music creates in us and for us. Anyone else? How you fill your cup? Crystal, what's in your cup today?
Alright. In my cup, I chose peace this week. And when Reverend Karen messaged me about speaking about it, I kind of thought it was a bad joke. I was like, so, starting Monday, I got some news that a family member isn't doing so well. But that was okay. I was still at peace. I had some tea in my cup that night. Went on a walk. I'm still winning. I'm still good. Tuesday, on the way to work, someone tries to take a little jet across the highway. We collide. I wasn't at peace in that moment. As soon as, I pulled to the side, I'm mad, I'm furious. I'm like, I'm going to let him know how I feel. But I take a minute and just relax. And when I walk over to the guy, I can just tell in his face, he didn't mean any harm. There was nothing, that he meant by it. And so I shook his hand, gave him a hug, and we were just both grateful and happy that everybody was okay. So it was actually, I think, a good thing that Reverend Karen asked me, because it really gave me some time to reflect and to realize that there were moments that I did choose peace, and that's exactly what it is. You can choose peace. So that's kind of all I have, is to remember to choose peace through it all, and your cup can continuously overflow as long as you choose to notice it.
Oh, thank you so much, Crystal. Beautifully said. We choose. We choose what we fill our cup with. And by that choice, then what overflows into the world. I couldn't choose one cup, so I brought 5.
Overachiever, right?
Because they were all cups that were given to me by people who are incredibly important to me. Hi.
Oh, God.
This cup was given to me to share our tea ceremonies at the end of our days of silence together. This is joy. This was given to me in an overflow of joy. This is kindness that overflowed from April. And her kindness toward me, and it says, one of my go-to scriptures, for I know the plans I have for you, Jeremiah. This is a cup that is filled with love that overflows from my children. They gave it to me, and it's filled with their love. And then I have very dear friends who gave me 2 cups over the course of years. One is filled with patience. Ben is an extraordinarily patient person. And this was given to me, and it's filled with faithfulness of friendship that overflows from other people into my cup and fills me. So these are my cups. And they're so meaningful. So we think a teacup is just a teacup, but it's so much more than that. So all of these cups, Reverend Barbara got one from her grandchildren when they were toddlers. They're now full-grown adults with children of their own.
No, they're in college.
They're in college, and she still carries their teacup. Yes, their cup. So when you look in your cupboard, look at the cups you may have acquired from people, and what quality that cup was filled with that overflows into your life. And know that while we're receiving that from others, we're also giving that to others. So take a minute and check in. What's rolling for you right now? What's moving in your heart? What thoughts and feelings? What's overflowing from your cup today? Perhaps you're not delighted with the feeling that you have at some point. Maybe it's not love, peace, or joy. Maybe it's not patience or kindness or goodness. When we notice those times, we can move to gratitude. And when I look at everybody here, and I know people who are watching from home, surely there is something that we can be grateful for. Even if it's the next breath, whether we woke up this morning, whether the sun was shining. So pause right now and allow your mind to land on something or someone that you're grateful for. Raise your hand when you got it. What are you grateful? Yes. One thing that you're grateful for. Okay. Now this is going to be hard, but at the count of 3, we're going to all speak together what we're grateful for. In one big voice, we're going to fill the space with what we're grateful for. Got it? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Gratitude that Crystal was not hurt.
Yes. Great. Great. So can you feel how that energy moves with our gratitude? Can you feel that in this space? So if you had a hard time finding something to be grateful for, grab it. Grab it as it's in the air right now and carry it with you. Surely, you move to gratitude. And there's one more reading from my ancient names that I share with you to close, and it's called The Holy Midwife. Every day, a little birthing awaits us, an opportunity pregnant with possibility. Some of these spiritual birthings go easy. You, Holy Midwife, attend to each delivery. Some of these spiritual birthings go easy, others go long, difficult, and agonizing. You, holy midwife, attend to each delivery and urge us towards expectant growth. Remind us that we must do our part. Breathe in, breathe out. Let go. Let go. Trust the painful contractions of labor preceding the precious life that follows. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you. Namaste.